Okay, let's talk about the text annotations. So we have two functions, this one and this one. And the first one puts the text inside the graph, and the other one puts text in the margins. And let's look at the text one, or let's look at both of them, but the arguments, location, text to place, and position. So location could be an XY coordinate, so it could, or it can be the text can be placed interactively via the mouse. Same thing as before with this function inside. Position is relative to location, so 1 means above it, 2 means to the left of it, 3 means above it, and 4 means to the right of whatever position you specified up here, or I'm sorry, whatever location you specified up here, and side, which margin to place text in. So that's for here. We have side, and again, bottom, left, top, right. You can specify line to indicate the line in the margin starting with 0, the closest to the plot area, and moving out. So we can also specify this equals 0 for bottom left, and this for top right. Okay, so let's look at this example. So here we're plotting the points, and the red is the text. So it's not just one piece of text. We could have maybe we should do a simpler one first. Let's do that. Let's get some example from here. Let's get this example here. So this doesn't use, here. Okay, but this looks a little troublesome. Let's try this one. Alright, let's just do one first. This text here. And then, alright, yeah, first let's just do that. So, what do we expect from this? Plot 1 to 10, 1 to 10, so we're plotting a vector 1 through 10, comma 1 through 10, so basically those are the same coordinates, so we're going to get a 45-degree line. Then we're going to put a title, like that, and a subtitle here. And then M text is text in the margins, so we're going to put this somewhere in the margins. Side 3, I forget which side that is, but it's one of the 4 sides. Now points, we're going to add some points. I guess we haven't seen this function, but I think we can figure out that it's just throwing in some points. So it's kind of a low-level function that can be run after this to plot some extra points. So 6, 2 and 2, 1 with this style of dot and this size and this color. So let's try that. And then we're going to do text. Text is going to be located at 6, 2, which is, notice this point was 6 and 2, right? And this point was 2, 1. So this text is going to be centered around that's one of these points. And so let's see how it works. Okay. So we have, I guess this symbol 3 looks like this. Kind of, I didn't know that, but looks like that. And side 3, by the way, is where Latin accented character is up here. And what else do we have? What's this? R is GNU. Where's that? Here, subtitle here. And the main title is up there. Okay, and you can see what happened. By the way, this /n like that gives you a new line, so that you get text, examples, and then new line, and then this character. So these characters are on the new line. Okay, anyway, so now we did that, but we haven't done this part yet, this text function, because I didn't hit enter yet. So what do we expect? 6, 2 is this point here, and we're going to have this text centered at 6, 2. Let's see if we get it. Okay, there it is. Okay, so you get this. Okay, let's continue with that example from the documentation. Let's put this in there next. So this is going to be at 2, 1. It's going to have this text. And then it's going to be ADJ. Well, let's see what that does. Okay, this is 2, 1, and justified at by ADJ C0, 0. Let's check. So ADJ equals 0 means for left bottom alignment. So it's to the left bottom of the 2, 1. No. Sorry, it's not ADJ 0, it's C0, 0. Okay, so the rest of these are probably a little more complicated using things we haven't studied, so let's not do those right now. Okay, so let's just try one more. 6, 5, where will this be? So let's try it. So it'll be up here, 6, 5. Okay, so you can put this in. Now, but the example from our text looks like this. Looks like this, so this is a little more complicated. So let's look at it though. So first of all, we do this, which remember allows us to not have to type empty cars all the time. And we plot WT versus MPG, which are two of the variables in the empty cars. In fact, let's remember what's in empty cars. Let's type that out. To remember, looks like that, database. And you can also do this. And that just gives you the row names. Remember that we have a specific column that is called the row name, and I think by default it's the first row. So it's that in this case. Those are the car names. Now let's go back and look again. So we can plot weight versus mileage. We can put a main title on there, label the x-axis with weight and the y-axis with mileage. Use this indicator, and the color is blue. Now we're going to use the text function. Now this is different because before we just had 2 points. I mean 1 point, like this, 6, 5, or 2, 1. That's just 1 point. But now it's different. We're putting the entire weight vector and the entire MPG vector. But so it's really going to make a lot of different, it's going to put text at a lot of different points. Now, so we're going to have like the weight was 10 and the miles per gallon was 20 or something like that. And then we're going to put the text that comes from the first element of this vector. Now what vector is this? Well, I just did it. It's here. No, it's here. Okay, it's this vector here, right? So it's going to put the first element of this vector in with the first point. So we're going to have the first point of weight, or the first element of weight and the first element of MPG and the first row name. So there's going to be a name at that coordinate, and then another name at the second weight and second MPG for the X and Y coordinates, and the different name here, whatever's the second row. Whatever row name. And the color is going to be red. So let's try this. And remember, we're going to detach empty cars at the end, so we take it away from the search path. So let's try it. Okay, and then you can see that it put text, I think the position here forward means to the right of each of the coordinates that we specified. Remember we specified coordinates by this, the first element of this vector and the first element of this vector is the first point, second element of this vector and the second element of this vector the second point, and so on. And we're going to get the label from here, first element, second element, and so on. And that's it. So we get this picture. So if you want a picture like this, remember how we do it. You get you get the entire vector for one variable and the entire vector for the second variable, and put those into the text function. And then for the labels for these points, you can take any other column basically as the labels. Now here we took the column which is the row names column, which was the first column, but we could have put any column in there, I believe. It might have to be text actually, in which case you might have to do something special to make it work. Okay, here's one more example which we did here. Plot 1717. Type N. Remember what that does. That means don't show anything in the plot area. And then text at 3.3, example of default text. So 3.3 is example of default text. Text 4.4, family mono, example of monospace text. So that's this one. And 5.5, family serif, example of serif text. Okay? And he says that it could look differently on different platforms, like on Mac or Windows or whatever, because plain mono and serif are mapped to different font families on different systems. Now, next is math annotations. Finally, you can add mathematical symbols and formulas using text-like rules. So this is for math, writing math text. See help plot math for details and examples. You can also try this. So let's try that. So let's see what happens. So type return to start. So you can basically type all these symbols using you can get access to all these symbols is what they're saying. Okay, and this is in plot math. He says the plot math function can be used to add mathematical symbols to titles, axis labels, or text annotation in the body or the margins of the graph. Oh, by the way, we didn't really spend much time on the margins using the M text, so you can look that up for now, this one. But basically it's just going to put stuff in the margins. Okay, that is the end of this section.